Alrighty, everybody. Hello and welcome to the Alex Cuesta Show. Hopefully everyone out there is doing good, and I hope they're enjoying getting this content on the weekend. Yes, David, we're weekend warriors now.
I know. It's incredible.
It is incredible. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little bit of inside baseball. We're not recording this on the Saturday. So, oops. We're supposed to tell people what we do, David.
Why would haven't you heard the song Master of the House from Les Miserables? Yes.
I have. Les Mis.
Don't let them know what's happening.
Yeah, I'm too honest of a guy, though. Yeah, no, we don't. We have things to do on the weekends, which is basically just sit around and do nothing, but it's something to do. And we don't want to be recording. So we still are recording on our normal times. And I'm just putting it on a Saturday because that is a fun thing to do. So it just grants you more content from the Alex Cuesta Show and the likes. And you now have 6 days to ingest my voice and add David's in at the end. So hooray. Anyway, before we get going with anything that is of importance today, please like, share, follow, subscribe, rate us 5 stars if you are listening to this on Spotify or iTunes. And as always, spread word of mouth. If you enjoy what we do here with the Alex Cuesta Show, where me and Dave just kind of pick a topic and then go have fun with it, or if you like listening to the dailies that I do, where I, pick off an article and I just rip into it, or Positivity Mondays, which are fucking awesome. I'm enjoying those, Dave. I am enjoying Positivity Mondays.
Everyone needs a white pill. Everyone needs a white pill.
That needs to be like the motto for Positivity Mondays. Everyone needs a white pill, then black pill the rest of the week. Or red pilling if you actually
or clown pill. There's too many. There's too many pills, honestly.
Well, I don't participate in clown pill because I usually am knocking clown pill off. Like, I am breaking down the clown pill, and if you're a part of clown world, you're probably fucking snorting it so I don't get rid of it. But outside of that, that's what's going on. Please spread word of mouth if you enjoy what we do. Socials, as always, you motherfuckers don't deserve it yet. Make me famous and maybe I'll give it to you. But seriously, the Alex Cuesta Show, go search it anywhere you can find the social. Dave, I have planned for now 2 weeks to start using TikTok to kind of promote stuff. And I just can't. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. I don't mind listening to myself. Even when we were putting out the videos, I didn't mind it earlier on. But it's just something about, I don't like taking selfies. I don't do that type of stuff, really. I don't like, TikTok to me, number one, fuck China, because I know they still own it. And number two, I don't know. It's just something weird about like just putting yourself out there like that. And I'm not like a sketch comedian. You kind of have to be kind of stupid to be successful on TikTok, except for Mike. He's the greatest TikToker of all time. Outside of him, you kind of have to be meh. I don't know. It's not my generation.
It's like the whole Vine thing. I mean, I know a lot of people that love Vine. I know a lot of people that can quote their favorite Vines off the top of their head, like their top 5. I have friends that could probably do that. But for me, I never got into it. I understand the enjoyment of like short form videos, especially like the way Vine did it, even though those are really short. But I don't know. I never enjoyed them either.
I'm not a fan of the Vines.
I've also listened to podcasts that are like 8 hours long. So I'm obviously a very different kind of content enjoyer.
And if you listen to David, he's just a very different type of person. David, we have to talk off this because I think our next topic needs to be one that me and you had fun discussing. It's one of the theories that we fleshed out one day on the phone. I think that's a great topic. We need to bring that into the world.
Pretty sure I know exactly what you're talking about.
It kind of has to do with you were talking about attention span wise and the focus and naming the 5 things. I know exactly
what you're talking about.
We're going to get into that. Anyone that's curious, that right there, everybody, is called not letting you behind the curtain. Only a little bit. Give you a little bit of tease, make you want it, and then maybe we'll give it to you if you ask nicely. And even if you don't ask nicely, we're going to give it to you. So I guess there's kind of no real. Yeah. Anyway, keep it on going on. Please, if you have time, and it should have time, it's only 7.5 minutes, go back and listen to what I did this past week. I actually verbatim read a letter from high school 800-meter national champion Ainsley Erzin. She's from Iowa. And it was an open letter that she wrote to her athletic union in Iowa that is meant to protect the rights of women and the rights of girls participating in high school athletics. And they put out a statement that they're confused about what they're supposed to do. And they need guidance about basically the trans community wanting to be men and compete in women's sports. And she put out a very, very well articulated letter, a very heartfelt letter. And I read it in its full. And, if you don't want to hear my voice doing it, please go to the Des Moines Register. As much as I would like for you to give me a listen, if you just want to go read it, go to the Des Moines Register, search for Ainsley Erzin. I guarantee you can find it. And you spell Erzin, Erzen. And it's really strong. And if you believe in the rights of women, if you believe that women should deserve to play their own sports fairly and have a chance at succeeding against their own biological sex, then it's something you should pay attention to and spread, because it was a great, great, great letter. And it moved me to read it. So, all right, Dave, let's get into the nitty gritty of the show, shall we?
Yes. Let's do it.
How are you? I didn't ask you how you were. I just kind of celebrated we're on a weekend and then told everyone we're not actually on a weekend.
I'm happy when you don't ask me how I am. I'm happy when you don't ask me.
Absolutely why I do it, because I know how much you hate it.
And that's why you will never get a yes and from me. That is exactly why.
I mean, but I get this, and this is good because this is still conversation branched off the useless question of how are you?
That's fair. That's completely fair.
I still what I'm engaged.
You know what I am not? Lifeless. I have life, which is unlike the Pro Bowl.
What a transition.
That's exactly what I planned.
Thing of beauty.
But the Pro Bowl happened last weekend. I think I didn't watch
what's the Pro Bowl?
The NFL Pro Bowl. Where
can you explain for people that actually like sports what the Pro Bowl is?
I mean, it's hard to explain what it is right now, but it's generally the top players, other than the players in the Super Bowl, because they changed it to a week before the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But the top players go and they play a football game, and it's AFC versus NFC, and it was once a lot of fun, honestly, but now it's come to a point where it's not a football game. I mean, maybe you can glean some fun from it, but there's no reason to put it on, especially because the Super Bowl is the weekend after. It's just, there's nothing that you need the Pro Bowl for.
Yep.
So that happened, and I didn't watch it. Yeah. I had work, so I didn't even have to sit down and think about watching it.
I had to do anything else. So, I just had to do anything else.
Exactly.
So, I didn't watch it.
Exactly. But I saw clips on Twitter, and I saw people complaining about it on Twitter, and it's completely understandable to complain about it because it was basically looked like a two-hand touch tag game of football when they're in full pads as well. But that just, it's annoying that it's come to this, but I feel like it's a really easy fix for the NFL. Just make it full skills challenges. Do something fun with that. We talked a little bit before this, but 7v7, just something that football related, skills and drills, and just have that going. And put it back in Hawaii, please. Pretty sure all the players love going to Hawaii.
Yeah,
and it just be a good time, and you can actually celebrate how good they are with different skills and things. You did well on the field. You get to have some fun. I think people wouldn't mind that, because I think it was cool that Stefan and Trevon Diggs were up against, switch sides and were up against each other. That's fun.
Yes.
But in that setting where there's not even tackling, it could have been much more fun if they did it in just simple route running drills.
Yep.
So that's the thing. It's a very easy fix for the Pro Bowl, I think. I don't see why you wouldn't just do it that way. Just, okay, we don't want to hit each other. I understand it. You don't want to get injured. You don't want to lose out on a year if you get badly injured. Yeah. So we're going to do skills and drills, the whole, QB accuracy. I remember they had the QB, just the farthest you could throw or whatever like that. And just do those fun things.
Which, for reference, Michael Vick could still come back and win the furthest throw contest right now. That man.
No. Josh Allen and Patty Mahomes can send it. So
Michael Vick can throw further in both of them. We forget. Recency bias makes us forget.
I don't know.
Things.
I don't know. I'd have to, because he did throw a damn good long ball, but I'm not going to discount both Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes.
I have to agree with you on everything that you said, completely and totally. Eliminating the Pro Bowl is absolutely the best option in the way it is currently. And the skills competitions is what everyone looks forward to most. The coolest highlight of Pro Bowl weekend was watching Russell Wilson go after Mac Jones in the quarterback accuracy contest. And Mac Jones did okay. And NFC, I think, needed like 8 points to come back. And Mac Jones comes back and is like, man, that wind really gets you on the deep balls. Russell Wilson comes in, throws the first two as perfect deep balls. Perfect.
Yeah, it's because what he does.
Throws the third one on a moving target, same thing. I think it was 25 yards away each, moving target straight down the center. Ends it on 3 throws and then continues to demolish the whole thing. Russell Wilson was the highlight of that. But the skills competition was lots of fun, like you said. And that's the highlight of a lot of people are comparing this to basketball. I see too, how they're both useless all-star games. David, you've known I've said for a long time, Pro Bowl is not a real accolade anymore. If I hate hearing, oh, he's just many times Pro Bowler. Who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. The Pro Bowl is useless. It's a popularity contest, number one. I'd say most of the guys on the field don't deserve to be there. I'm not going to lie. They don't. They're not the best at their positions. That's not exact. It's not true at all. And they weren't the best in the season, a lot of these guys. They were just name recognition and how good was that marketing program on Twitter. Honestly, that is really what the Pro Bowl comes down to. But I agree with you with the skills competition. The only thing that's a difference to me between the NBA and the NFL, like you said, in the NFL, the guys aren't trying to get hurt. Neither are they in the NBA. But the difference is those two teams, yes, neither side plays defense at all during the games. Difference in the NBA is, though, they intentionally keep it within like 10 points of each other. Because when it comes down to the final 6 minutes, they fucking ball in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to watch any of the All-Star game until the final 3 minutes when it's close. And then you see basketball. And then you see the best players on the planet, because the NBA is much better at putting the best players in their league in those games. And if somebody gets shafted, normally the coaches do put that player in. So once that gets down, all the people that were bench guys that really don't deserve to be on the floor with the guys all sit on the bench. And then the real superstars get in there. That's when you get to see, back in the day, LeBron and Melo really going at it in an all-star game. You get to see, it's not like it used to be where there's less pride in winning these things. These guys, there's too much money involved and there's less pride in terms of winning these types of things for them. And I don't know. I think that's a difference to me, is the NFL could just get away right away. And they don't care. They're not trying to get hurt. Basketball, they intentionally keep it close. They do alley-oop dunks, which are fantastic, which you kind of can't do in the NFL. You know, you can only do so many one-handed catches. Like, the dunks are always great. The long-ass threes that Steph Curry has made irrelevant now, because used to be cool in the All-Star game with the 30-footer, 35-footer. That's now Steph Curry just in a real fucking game. He does that, so they're useless now. But you can't simulate that in the NFL. There's only, those are type of wow plays that always get us in the NBA. And in terms of all-star games, baseball and hockey have it done. Baseball, because it's not as labor intensive. The skills challenges in baseball are more labor intensive than the actual game for a lot of the guys. And the hockey, it's 3-on-3. And if you do not like fast hockey where guys are getting fucked up and lots of goals, and you're out your mind. So I don't know. I like your idea. Get rid of the Pro Bowl as it is. I would love a 7-on-7, maybe a reverse 7-on-7 to make it fun. Put the defensive guys on offense, offensive guys on defense. Just make it wacky. Have a good time with it.
Or also you could have even more fun with it. And I'm pretty sure you remember, but it's a thing that we did in track where we had this thing called the 4x-Fat, where we had the throwers do it.
Love it. We had the best 4x-Fat team. My freshman year, we had the best 4x-Fat team because 2 of our guys were 100-meter sprinters, and they were also really good shot put and discus guys. It was so unfair.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing, is it's like you could even have linemen do like a 7v7. That'd be funny. That'd be amazing. Because you know how quick they are. You don't even realize, though.
Or just do like a lineman 40-yard relay, like a 40-yard dash relay where they just go and each run the 40. Yeah, that would, again,
but you could have a ton of fun.
Have much more fun. Yeah.
So to go to Hawaii, set up a bunch of, I don't know, punt, pass, and kick competitions, do a whole lot of things, get rid of the Pro Bowl game. Yeah, we had fun with it before. Sean Taylor destroyed people in it before.
Yes, he did. It was a real game back in the day.
Yeah. But if you don't want to do it anymore, that's fine. You have other things that people would be perfectly fine watching on television.
And then it could invite celebrities as well. If you just make it a giant skills competition, you can invite celebrities in, and let's see if a celebrity that we think, like, let's bring The Rock back and let The Rock do some shit. You know what I mean? Like, let him come in and see if he could still do drills and run drills against the best. Like, let him and Aaron Donald go at it in a drills competition.
Well, I don't know about that. Aaron Donald would hurt him. You would hurt him.
No, but I mean, like, in terms of like just the actual drills, like on the ground, the speed, hitting the bag, running through, like, you know, something, it would be like pros versus Joes, but in a real like celebrity type of cool way. So yeah, I agree. Pro Bowl's got to go. Pro Bowl's fucking useless. Nobody watched it. The ratings had to be terrible. ESPN sent me updates and I just wanted to fight ESPN the whole time they did it. I don't know. It really just needs to go away. There's no pride in it. Nobody cares. And the guy that hit the hardest this year was Alvin Kamara. That's a bad joke, but it's true.
I forgot about that too.
He's the only guy that actually hit someone at the Pro Bowl.
So we'll move on from that directly into the Super Bowl,
which I stole from somebody, by the way. That was on Instagram. I stole that.
All right. It wasn't my original thought. At least you're giving
I'm not
credit
that terrible of a person. I don't know. I don't know who I stole.
Well, you did just say it though.
It's true though.
But other than the Pro Bowl,
David's the host today.
I have to be. We have to get out of that. But we actually have a very unique and fun Super Bowl lined up. Yes. Bengals and Rams is not a matchup that we've seen.
And before you go anywhere, I don't want to hear any of the fucking losers going, oh, you don't have so-and-so team in there or so-and-so person, so you're not going to get the ratings. I predict this is going to be one of the highest rated Super Bowls we've seen in a long time.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this out there. I would have probably thrown this out there at the end of it, but I said this to one of our other friends, and I'm going to say it here. I'm going to say it's not a hot take. You might tell me it's a hot take. But obviously I wasn't alive during the time that he was big. But tell me if I'm crazy. Joe Burrow seems to have somewhat of the swagger that Joe Namath seemed to control.
See, I wasn't around either, so I can't say.
Well, that's the thing. I can't say definitively, but just the way people look at Joe Burrow.
Not pompous. And he's not as cocky as Namath. Definitely,
I'm just saying the swagger, though. Swagger and like the persona, like not. It's hard, but I don't know. There seems to be an aura of Joe Namath and Joe Burrow. I could be wrong
there. I'd say it's weird. You gotta find guys. It's people are gonna hate me for this, but a guy like a Tom Brady, a guy like a Brett Favre, a guy like that, you just see the pure enjoyment as they play. Joe Burrow is that type of guy where as you watch him play, you know he's just having fun. Yeah. It's not that serious to him. And it is serious. It's a job, and you see that. But a guy like Tom Terrific, thank God, I can be nice to you now because you're retired. But a guy like Tom Brady, you watched his passion and you saw it was fun. It was serious, but it was fun. Brett Favre, same way. Even a guy like Phillip Rivers or some of these guys where it's, Matt Stafford is more of the business guy. Matt Stafford is definitely more business oriented. Obviously, they all love the game, but you're not going to see Matt Stafford smile too much during the game because he just needs to get this shit done. Where Joe Burrow, he's not afraid to kind of show his emotion on his sleeve a little. He's not afraid to laugh. He's not afraid to, be opinionated either. I love the quote that he gave this past weekend. What did he have to say to young athletes? Do your work in silence. Stop putting workouts on Instagram. And he's the second person I've seen say that recently. And it's like, yeah, absolutely. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. What up, Wayne? That is exactly where we need to be. And that's the best advice ever. This is a guy that went from one premier program in college to another premier program. And after being told at Ohio State he wasn't going to be the starter because they were fantastic guys, it's not like it was Ohio State's fault. They had some great quarterbacks. goes to LSU and is just like, I'm the biggest G here, championship. Mm-hmm. And it looks like he's about to do it in the NFL as well this year.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing. It's just like, the cigar, the glasses, like,
yeah.
I mean, if he pulled up with like the full mink coat, like Namath did, I feel like the similarities wouldn't even be like that far off.
He's Johnny Manziel with talent without the drugs and hookers. That's what he is. Like Johnny Manziel had the same swagger. And I don't think Johnny Manziel was particularly a douche. He just wasn't as skilled and he liked to party. Where Joe Burrow probably likes to party in the offseason. He's going to go to Gronk Island. He's definitely a guy that's going to go to Gronk Island. I'm 100% convinced we're going to see Burrow with a cigar in like the shorty short, like mafia swim shorts, rocking with the cigar and some hot chicks next to him. Like that is going to be Joe Burrow this offseason with OBJ dancing in a Speedo somewhere. Like, because that's OBJ. But we're going to see that. But I understand your comparison. He's a little more of a cleaner guy than Joe Namath was, though. Yeah. Like, he's not guaranteeing anything. He's not drinking. He might have been that guy back in the day because it was more accepted in the 60s to just not give a fuck. Burrow doesn't come off as cocky to me. He's a little more pure, but I understand the aura you're talking about. He's a little bit larger than life type of guy.
Yeah.
So it's good you mentioned that. I want to mention another connection with the Super Bowl here, though. Sean McVay and Zach Taylor. Both, if I'm not mistaken, weren't they both on the Redskins staff at one point?
I believe so, yes.
And yes, I said Redskins. Fuck off, Commanders. He was both, and then that's not your name. You picked a bad name, therefore you are ever the Redskins.
Damn commies.
God, you're not gonna be the commies. No Cobra Commander bullshit here. We're not doing that. I did like the block W. I like that block W. I think it's actually
I don't like it.
W. I like that block W. I don't care.
So I don't know if you remember from a long time ago in the AAF. There was a team called the San Diego. Yeah, a long time ago. There's a team called the San Diego Fleet.
Yes.
That's exactly what that block W reminds me of. And that was it was gross on there. It was gross. Actually,
I'm going to pull up. You keep talking about something because I'm going to pull up the San Diego Fleet because they might actually be their dumb black uniforms that they have with the stupid yellow lines trying to look like military. Like I'm going to say San Diego Fleet uniform. The power of Bing, not Google. I'm not using Google. Fuck you, Google.
I mean, I don't know if Bing's any really better. I'm not going to lie to you.
I mean, Bing's not bad. It really isn't. Bing's not, honestly, Bing and even Microsoft Edge, they 100% just took what Google Chrome, pasted it on here and just called it Microsoft. Like they don't care. That's exactly what they did. This looks exactly like Chrome. That's why I'm so okay with using it.
I mean, why wouldn't Chrome. You? Why wouldn't you?
They didn't copy. The Fleet's uniforms were so much worse. Oh my God. Hold on. I wish.
Did I forget how bad they were?
Oh my God, Dave. These are all time bad. I'm actually going to share my screen with you while we podcast. It's great podcasting. But no, they do not look anything like these shit shows.
Ooh,
so, but overall, they're terrible. But overall, no. So we got derailed here. Zach Taylor and McVay, they go back. They're a part of this new crop of really skilled, really talented young coaches. And I think that's a storyline that's it's been covered, but it's been kind of glanced over, that we're seeing kind of a nice little renaissance. We usually see old coaches represent because wisdom and they work hard and they have a certain way. Like Andy Reid is an older coach, and we see that with Kansas City and how they play, and they play well. They're always disciplined. But we're seeing a new group of young coaches where I think they're the perfect blend, because I don't think Zach Taylor or Sean McVay take any bullshit. They seem like no bullshit type of guys, but at the same time, their guys love them. They're the perfect balance of players coach plus do your fucking job coach.
Yep.
And you could see that the accountability's there. And the guys respect them, even though they're not much older than their oldest players. They might even be younger than some of their oldest players on the team still. Mm-hmm. So that's a really cool storyline, Dave. Now, out of those two, I have to say, I don't know much about Zach Taylor. I actually forgot he was the head coach of the Bengals in mid-year. Like, I'm not going to lie. I didn't know. But it's like, what do you think goes on here? Because you both these offenses are prolific. Obviously, to me, the Rams have the better defense. Cincy's no joke. But what do you think in terms of the minds there, in terms of the way that these guys coach? Who's going to outcoach you? McVay has more experience in these situations.
I would say McVay because of his experience. And McVay has just been an absolute monster of a coach. Yeah. I mean, the statistic of like when the Rams are up at halftime, they barely lose. I think maybe
he survived Jared Goff, kept his job to Jared Goff. That should be as much of an accomplishment as anything.
Yeah, but I mean, just what Zach Taylor has done this season for that Bengals team has been really, really, really good. He got the most out of literally everyone on that team possible. And you could definitely see Burrow was good last year, but he's been great this year. And honestly, everyone that said, if you don't pick Sewell, you pick Chase, Burrow's just going to get sacked. You're never going to get Chase the ball.
Yep.
Both Taylor and I'm sorry, I don't know GM for the Bengals, but that's a good job. You picked up his LSU wide receiver that he loved, Jamar Chase, and now they're lighting up the league. They're absolutely lighting up the league. So they're both doing extremely well there for their franchises. I'm hoping Zach Taylor can keep it going other than just this year because you never know. I mean, I expect him to, especially if you're going to have Burrow on your team. You're still going to have Chase, at least for next year. But I know we've seen Sean McVay do this with the Rams team. He's just that team's just been good since he's been there. Mm-hmm. So I see McVay out coaching him, but I mean, this Bengals team, the personality and the swagger of the Bengals team genuinely makes it difficult to count them, not even count them out, but just to say that they won't win. And
they faced the Giant in the AFC Championship, which looked like they were about to steamroll them early on in that game. Yes. The Chiefs looked like they were just going to Chiefs and run up the score and make it a 35-21 game, what they've been done in the past. And then the Bengals quite literally just said no.
Yep.
And they just came back, kept fighting, and won the game. Mm-hmm. And that's really what it came down to. And I tend to agree with you. I think McVay is going to out-coach him. Now, in terms of what comes next, so coaches are coaches. They can only do so much, obviously. They can set the game plan. They can set the tempo for the team. Halftime adjustments are gigantic and are underrated.
Yes.
And they obviously pick their staffs. Both these guys obviously pick very good staffs. Let's talk about the guys actually playing, though. The guys on the field. Let's talk about the offense. Who are you picking in terms of the big three of each team? Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Joe Mixon, or Matty Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Cam Akers? A fresh Cam Akers that has looked like he's been shot out of a fucking cannon since the playoffs started. Who are you going with?
It's tough, man. I'm probably going to go Rams, but it's so difficult because I really do think like Mixon above Akers. I would probably say Stafford above Burrow, but then like Chase and Kupp.
Let's break down. Let's do numbers. Let's be numbers weirdos for a second.
All right.
Jamari Chase, rookie, unbelievable. 81 receptions, 1,455 yards, 13 touchdowns. Let's compare it to Cooper Kupp. 145 catches, 1,947 yards.
That's the thing.
Touchdowns.
Yeah.
There is no comparison. Like Cooper Kupp had one of the greatest seasons of all time. Yes, it was a 17-game season, so maybe take away, in terms of Kupp numbers, take away 10 to 13 catches, take away 100-plus yards, take away maybe a touchdown or two. You're still looking at 125-plus catch season. 1,800 yards, 15 to 13 touchdowns for the guy. It is one of the greatest seasons of all time, and it definitely helps Stafford get to the point where he's at almost 67% completions, almost 4,900 yards, 41 touchdowns with only 17 picks.
Yeah.
This is, I'm not scoffing at Burrow, 4,600 yards, 34 touchdowns, 14 picks, and 70% completion. It's not like you're getting less from either guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Stafford just has more to go to because you can't discount Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham's talent is still all worldly. Van Jefferson's a very good number 3 there.
Yep.
And then they still have Higbee to throw to.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that I really feel like the big threes are going to matter on both offenses.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's really going to come down to how much separation like someone like OBJ or T. Higgins can get on either offense.
Yep.
So that's really going to matter a ton. in the game.
Now, do we have any indication on what the health of CJ Uzama is? Because he did.
Pretty sure he's playing.
He's playing, but I'm curious how he's going to be because he is a favorite of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow loves going to Uzama when he's in a bind.
I'm pretty sure he is going to be all in for the Super Bowl.
And I don't disagree, but it's just curious to think how that injury is going to affect him. Now, so offense wise, who are you going with?
Offense rise overall, I'm going with the Rams.
With the Rams, okay. And another factor, Dave, I don't know if it's a real one. I don't know how you take this. Teams that have worn white, I think, are like 17-3 in the past 20 Super Bowls.
Yes, I saw that.
And the Rams are wearing white.
Yes, I know. And also, I think like the past 7 Super Bowls, the teams that won the coin toss lost the game.
Yep. So we'll see what goes on here. So let's go to the defensive side because, Dave, honestly, we're nitpicking in terms of the offenses. I think the offense is going to be a push, which is insane to think that we're looking at 2 overpowered offenses. But it wasn't that long ago, Dave, that the Rams defense was the scariest thing on the planet. Mm-hmm. And you look at it now, and why aren't we still talking about them more? Von Miller has had a resurgence. Aaron Donald's still the best defensive player in football. Go away, Colton. It's not TJ Watt. And shout out to Colton Gesser, Play Action Podcast, Steelers Nation. If you were listening to the Opinions Podcast Network at all, you know who Colton is. One of the greatest guys. Go support him in both of those spots. But keeping on going, those guys on the line, Ashawn Robinson has come on big time as a pickup from Detroit. Mm-hmm. It is a really good group back there, Dave. It's a really good group. And then you have Cincinnati.
I was going to say both those D lines are good, dude.
Sam Hubbard's a freak. Trey Hendrickson has been so good. DJ Reader, BJ Hill, they've all been really good. But do they have more of an advantage in the secondary? Who has the advantage there? Who's going to be able to get that 1 or 2 stops? Because I really feel like this might be that type of Super Bowl where it's get 2 stops, win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, I really feel like I just have to go with the team that has Jalen Ramsey on it. Jalen Ramsey is probably still the best corner in the league. I would argue. So I really can't go against him because, I mean, whoever has a corner like that can do so much more defensively. Now, that's not to say that the Bengals can't do things defensively. Look at what they did to the Chiefs in the second half and in overtime. Everyone thought Chiefs won the toss. Oh, they won the game. No, sir. Jeremy Bates has something to say about that.
You know what's going to be nice to know quickly as a Jets fan, though? Mm-hmm. That Jalen Ramsey is going to be watching film of Bryce Hall and how he played against Jamar Chase.
Maybe a little bit. Bryce Hall played very well.
Better than most other guys this year.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit.
Sorry, keep going with your point.
I think that could sound nice. Yeah, no, but the thing is that I think both secondaries are good.
Yes.
But I'm just going to go with the team that has Jalen Ramsey. I'm not going to overthink it in any way. And that's the thing about the Super Bowl to me is that if you haven't noticed, I picked Rams for basically everything.
Yeah.
But just the attitude of the Bengals makes it feel like, it's not stupid if the Bengals win. It's not really a shock.
No.
You've seen their attitude throughout this whole playoffs. It's just like, why not us? Like, why does it have to be a surprise if we win? Just win. Just go and do it. And they did. So.
Now, with everything you said, are the Rams the underdogs?
No.
In this situation, like not maybe in terms of numbers wise, maybe not Vegas, but in terms of fan perception, I think a lot of fans have your perception of how this game is going to play out.
I know. I feel like the Rams are going to win.
Okay.
But I feel like the Bengals are going to make it a very questionable game for a long time. And the thing is, listen, I understand the Rams are playing an away game here, but they still have just the better overall team, the more solid coaching staff, especially with playoff experience.
Yep.
I can't pick against the Rams in that sense.
Yeah. And when you look at special teams too, what is Cooper Kupp going to do in the punt return game if they get a few punts? Will they put OBJ back there? Has been known to be a return guy every once in a while. And
I would 100% do that. Exactly. I would 100% do
Why wouldn't you just put both of them back there? I would actually put Kupp and OBJ back there together and just say, kick it to somebody. Good luck. You know what I mean? Like that is I think that also is an advantage because I haven't seen Jamar Chase go back there as a dynamic as he is. I don't know. Maybe Tyler Boyd has returned before, but he's not as dynamic as both of those guys. So again, special teams, you have to chalk up maybe the big play to the Rams, potential for big play to the Rams there. The Rams should win this football game. I think it's going to be a track meet. I think we're going to see a score in the 30s. The Rams, for all intents and purposes, should win this game. But like you said, there is something to be said about momentum. There is something to be said about swagger. There is something to be said about belief in this is our destiny type of stuff.
That's the thing. The Rams are the team that on paper genuinely seem like the better team. The Bengals, while watching them in the playoffs, seem like the team that cares the most about every single inch on that football field. Every single inch on that football field matters to them. So that's what and it's not like the Rams don't care. It's not like the Rams are, they're just kind of walking through it. No, they're obviously playing very hard.
Yeah.
But there's something about this Bengals team. There's something about the mystique that makes it's just glowing. They're glowing right there. It's just like,
So how much?
I can't deny it.
Burrow has been Mr. Cool all year, all postseason. You don't see him really get rattled. It's very rare. Does he handle the pressure? I don't see Matt Stafford buckling. I don't see him buckling.
No,
I think Matt Stafford's going to do good. Yeah, but who's more likely to make the big mistake? Is Jamar Chase? Because Jamar Chase has had the dropsies a few times in big moments. Not later in the year, but regular season, as great of a season as he's had, he's missed some gimmies. It's really, to me, going to come down to who makes the big mistake. Not defensively, but offensively. Who's going to throw that fourth quarter pick? And again, it has to be a fourth quarter pick with like a minute left, because you give either of these teams more than 2 minutes and they're going to go score a touchdown. That's just how they're built. But it's like, who makes that big mistake? Who buckles? Who doesn't score anything for 2 straight drives? Like 3 straight drives. Like, I really feel like that's going to come down to it. And again, on paper, the Rams should be able to do this to the Bengals more than the Bengals can do it to the Rams. But Sam Hubbard on the Bengals has a lot to say about that. So we'll see. Dave, give me your on the spot score, prediction, MVP right now.
Rams 27-21. Matt Stafford gets MVP.
Rams 34-31, last second field goal. And it's Aaron Donald getting MVP because he has a strip sack to set the Rams up late when the Bengals look to win it.
That would be,
I feel like the Bengals get the ball and they have a chance and they're starting to drive, but then either Von Miller or Aaron Donald gets the strip sack and sets the Rams up, kill time, win the game with the field goal. And I think it's good. I think we're going to set it up to see the upset with the Bengals, and the Rams are going to do what they need to do, and it's going to win that way. Either Von Miller, Aaron Donald, and either one of those two, whoever does it, gets the MVP.
Okay. I'm kind of hoping that both teams actually walk in and say, you know what, we want to establish a run. Because honestly, they both have good running backs.
I wouldn't doubt
it. They both have good running backs. They both can do it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is it's like, why not just do that? I mean, we'll see what happens. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a bunch of trick plays too.
And they're both very good receiving backs too. So they're the type of guys where they can maybe pull the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady method, where it's as good as a run. You're throwing it out to the flat. You're just giving them open space right away.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that can happen. And I don't doubt that McVay and Taylor are going to come up with a bunch of tricky shit, and it's going to be such a fun Super Bowl. Or we get a 10-7 clunker and it's just a mess. Because whenever it is panned this way, remember the Broncos and the Seahawks.
What are you talking about? Remember the Patriots and Rams.
My
God.
Yes. So there you go. Whenever it's panned a certain way, we don't always get what we think we're going to get. So it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. You have our predictions. They are forever. And I hope, David, the beauty of this is I don't actually give a fuck who wins. I'm just really excited to watch
it's amazing.
the game.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so nice. I don't hate anybody in this game. It seems like for the past 22 years, I have hated somebody, aka Tom Brady, in these games. Oh man, it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, so overall, that's what we think. We threw out a nice fun episode here, Dave. I appreciate, this was David's idea. Let's not do something so heavy. Super Bowl is on the way. Mm-hmm. Let's just put it out there and let's have a good time. So yeah, everyone, I appreciate you listening. Please leave a comment, leave something. Let us know how you feel. What's your prediction? What do you think is going to go on? Do you think that the Bengals are going to dominate? Rams going to dominate? Stafford's going to go bizarro Stafford and throw for 500 and completely win the game overwhelmingly. What do we got going on here? Leave a comment, leave a tweet, do something of that nature. While you're doing that, like, share, follow, subscribe, 5-star rating on Spotify and iTunes. Tell everybody about how great we are at predicting Super Bowls and how awesome we are at talking sports. No, just spread the word of mouth that you enjoy what you hear here, that we do a decent job. I never like when I use here. I hate that because I feel like the guy from that Titanic. Yeah. But anyway, socials, The Alex Cuesta Show. Go search it and you will find us wherever you are there. And everybody, I really hope you enjoy the Super Bowl. I hope it's a really good Super Bowl and we can all come back, laugh about this. And next time me and David talk, we'll kind of give a synopsis about how right or wrong we were. Right, Dave?
Yeah.
All righty then. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. So long.